Flying jellies. Is it poop blobs flying through the sky, or is it jellyfish?
Were the Nephilims just giants, or is there more than meets the eye?
Saint Dionysus. Have you ever seen a chicken running with his head cut off? Me either. What about a man?
All right, welcome back to Tinfoil Testament. We are three friends sitting on three sides of a four-sided room.
Three guys sitting in a square room 5 feet apart because they're not.
How are you guys doing today?
Dude, it feels like fall outside.
It feels great.
Fall in August. Man, it's amazing.
Global warming at its finest.
Yep, global warming. It's obviously real.
Do we want to introduce ourselves since it's the first one so everyone knows who our names?
Yeah. My name's Vandy. Andrew Speak.
Hello.
Jeremy Gaggle.
I won't, but hi, I'm Jeremy.
Oh, my. I'm still jet-lagged.
You would be.
You little jet lagger. Is
Yes.
that a new slur?
Yes, and speaking of conspiracies, we were on a plane with only 15 people.
Oh, wow.
Counting
It
yourself
felt weird.
Was there any Burger King hats?
or kings?
No.
You know, because I see that you got a Burger King cup beside you. I
Don't
figured you'd be the
expose.
one.
Don't expose.
You'd be the one that would
He-
have the hat on.
I met him there today.
Oh. 2 Burger King cups.
Yeah, I kind of blocked his way out and some other lady.
I didn't have my food, though. So
They said pull around, and then you can't get around where they told me to go, and this lady behind us was upset, to say the least.
Oh, drive through?
And to say the most. Yeah, drive through.
Oh, yeah.
Anyway, let's hop right in. Andrew, take it away with whichever topic.
Oh, take it away. Man, I get to be the first one to dive in on this very first podcast.
to be fair, this is like the third
Yeah, I know.
unreleased for Patreon coming soon.
Mm.
Maybe.
Well, I need to not go because it sounds weird in post.
It does.
So I'm not gonna. I'm not. I'm just gonna.
Sounds
We
weird
could-
IRL.
We can make our.
You know what?
Sorry.
We can make our intro like a bunch of random bloopers with music over it
Or the outro.
with the outro. Yeah,
Maybe.
a lot of people do
Or
that.
the
But
entire thing could just be us.
there's one podcast that I listen to that their intro is like literally 3 to 5 minutes of blooper reels from their past podcasts.
And people listen to that?
It's like the full thing. Yeah, it's crazy, but it's a good podcast. But I mean, the intro's a little long, just like this one. It's pretty terrible too. But yeah. So flying jellies, man.
Explain.
So
Yes.
flying jellies. There's a cryptid going on around the world. It's been sighted in many different places, America, and in Norway and China and stuff like that. But it's basically flying jellyfish. And
Where?
I
He
just said,
just
I
told
just
you
said,
No, I want to know exactly where.
the
Like, is this
sky,
mostly
of America,
coastal places?
Norway, and China, and stuff like that.
Where in? Like, because you don't see a
Stuff like
jellyfish.
that. Just let the man talk.
man. Okay, so
Okay, speak.
there's been some places where it's further north. They've been seen during the Aurora Borealis.
That's completely a fake thing, though. Just anyway.
So what, the Aurora Borealis?
Aurora is fake.
Aurora
I went
is a
to
hard
Alaska
word to
and
say.
tried to look at it. It's not real.
Well,
You were
we
there.
we saw it in Tennessee. It was very faint, but it was like purple and red in the sky.
That's called a sunset, my guy.
That's called at 11 o'clock at night a sunset.
Strange things are happening, like Randy Newman.
Your wife, my sister, your wife took great
Whoa.
pictures of them.
I'll hold my tongue.
Man, doubting Thomas over here.
Anyways,
So anyway, yeah, flying jellies, man. They've been spotted all over the place. And there's actually been a few pictures taken of them. And
are these really grainy pictures?
no, but
But yes.
you can... if you see them for the first time, you could say that it's photoshopped. Like, it doesn't look it doesn't look natural. Like there's some that are like literal jellyfish in the sky.
All right, but what are they? Like, tell us about it. We'll stop interrupting you.
So a flying jelly, it's a type of cryptid, and it's an atmospheric beast type. That's the type it is. But the first sighting was in 1974, and it's not to any specific country. It's global.
So it's an old legend. Or
what old? Well, it's 70. Well, depends on how old you are.
if I was born in the 70s, I'd be old.
Well, yes, but you're not. But the last sighting was in 2024. So I mean, it's lasted for a while, and a lot of people are speculating that it lives in the upper atmosphere, and it rarely comes down to where we can see it, except for maybe some people theorize that they're coming down to mate, and they're seen around water a lot too.
So is it like when one person sees it, a bunch of people see it?
No, usually it's just like a few people at a time.
Oh.
Like there's some stories that there was one little girl that she saw it literally drifting and floating through their neighborhood street. And it's like it takes up the full street, and it's just floating, and it's got like bioluminescence to it too. And so it's kind of crazy I mean, imagine you're standing there, literally you walk outside your front door, and then there's this giant floating jellyfish like 60 feet away. Like, it's wild.
This is just weird.
I know it's weird, but it's a lot of people have claimed to see it, but I got a few pictures here if you want to see them or not. But one of them is called the Dutch flying jellyfish, and the Dutch flying jellyfish is an atmospheric jellyfish sighted in the Netherlands by Harry Purton, and he ventured out after a storm last week to take photos for his blog. After
Last week.
Well, you know how these blogs do.
When was this blog written?
That's a good question. I'm reading this.
Sorry,
off of
I'm not trying to derail you. It's just my thought was like last week. Didn't you just?
I
say
know.
2024?
I was reading this earlier, and I was debating about whether to say that.
Yeah.
I just kind of read it.
No. You it makes sense. Sorry. I just.
That looks real.
So yeah, I know. That's what I'm saying. But this one was found off the coast of. Hold on. So Harry Purton ventured out after a storm last week to take photos for his blog after he saw beautiful skies from his window. He was not expecting to capture pictures of something unusual, but he was surprised upon checking his camera when he got home, and he saw a jellyfish in the sky. And these jellyfish are considered UFOs, unidentified flying objects. Not just flying saucers, aliens, but there's been pictures that have been captured also from China too, with the Chinese Air Force.
Oh, so this is like government.
Yeah, and
Okay.
one of them, it's like extreme. It's at night and it's very dark, and the jellyfish is glowing green in the middle of the sky. But this picture looks very 8-bit. Like, it's not very clear.
So like they're hearing about it and they want to be part of the conspiracy, so they just make something.
Like, the moon looks like it's from Minecraft.
Like when you were a kid and somebody said, "Oh, I saw something." Either way, it sounds like the Chinese they had FOMO.
Yeah, I mean, and there's, like I said, it's been going all over the place. And there's not just the jellyfish that are being seen as far as ocean-dwelling creatures, but there's also flying manta rays, too, that have been seen. And some people are just saying that it's birds flying at night, but then there's other people that are clearly seeing the outline. Like, there's one story that comes to mind of there was a person driving home from work, and it was dusk, and they saw it literally fly out of the tree, cross the road into another tree. and I think it was a woman. She clearly saw the shape of a manta ray. Like it wasn't like a bird. Like it had really thick, fleshy wings, like a manta ray. And they look exactly like the ocean dwelling creatures, but they just literally are in the air. So a lot of people are thinking that there's atmospheric plankton also. So like there's a whole ecosystem in the sky that we're not aware, and that they're translucent, but also they hide in the clouds too. So it's wild. It's wild. And I brought that up instead of, Bigfoot, because everybody talks about Bigfoot and nobody really has any new information.
We were talking to Bigfoot earlier today too, weren't we?
Yes.
Nobody has new information about Bigfoot. It's been overtalked. Of course, I'm sure we'll talk.
Let me
about
ask you this: have we caught one?
Have they caught one?
Of the plankton, the manta ray, the jellyfish?
Well, according to legend, there was a man that supposedly did. He created his own aircraft that was held together with weather balloons, and he went up. He went up to the sky, and he put mackerel on fishing hooks. And whenever the jellyfish would grab the mackerel, and it would get hooked, its tentacle would get hooked, then it would literally disintegrate into powder. So there was no evidence of him catching it. And he said that he caught, I don't know, upwards of like 100 or more over the course of 10 years or something like that. And he speculated that he killed all of them.
Oh.
He killed all of them because they would just die as soon as they would grab the hook. So, I mean, that's...
So if he knew he was
hearsay.
Killing them off,
He
gonna keep killing them, I guess.
I know. I mean, have you not read America's history books? I mean, the buffalo. so
Yeah, we made some mistakes along the way.
So I have some thoughts on it. Least important is if they're in the sky and not in the water, can we really call them jellyfish?
well,
Would they not be jelly birds or
Jelly birds.
jelly bird?
But no.
If they're in the earth, they're called jelly beans.
The thing is, even if someone supposedly caught one, we had it. If it's just a jellyfish, how do you know it's not just a jellyfish they grabbed out of the ocean or found?
Well, that's the thing.
Like unless they do a look at the DNA and say, no, this is very distinctly different, at least in these ways, because it wouldn't match.
Yeah.
I'm sure it'd be very strange if it matched, right?
Yeah, that's the one I saw.
So,
Yeah.
so catching it, getting the data. It looks like UFO blast, like like the engine shooting out more to me than
It's
anything.
a portal.
But anyway, so I don't think you're ever going to see any evidence of one being caught, because I think even if it's real, no one's going to believe it's real, because it's like you just drug this out of the ocean or bought it at a pet store.
Yeah. And that's the thing, too. I mean, there's all kinds of speculations about this, but there's been enough people that have said that they've seen it now.
Well, I don't believe it.
I don't
It's
either.
true. Or I don't believe that it's like these creatures that are living up there. Because you said the earliest was the 70s?
Yeah.
No one saw it before then? Ever?
Apparently
Like,
not.
If they did, then no one ever mentioned it. Maybe people were like, there's a jellyfish in the sky. Realize how crazy that was. And we're like, I'm not telling anybody. That's possible. But like the fact that it's like a lot of these other ones, there's sightings or something you can say is probably the same.
Well,
The same thing that dates back a long time. But anything that's beyond technology, like UFOs, I can believe there's a reason you wouldn't have seen them earlier because they didn't exist or something. But like when it comes to creatures
creatures living in the sky other
sky?
than birds. Yeah, I don't buy it.
I wouldn't even say birds live in the sky.
No, well, there's
Fly in the sky and they come down.
There's some seabirds that like rarely touch water and land. Like the majority of their time is literally just flying on air currents.
Well, maybe they're like the flying fish. They just fly for a bit.
Yeah. I mean, that's another. Well, I wouldn't say that's another speculation, but I mean, it's odd enough, but frequent enough that it's got its own lore now.
See, so what I think
Got its own category.
What I think could be an explanation if you believe in multiple worlds or parallel or on top of
dimensional
worlds,
beings.
This would fit the idea in my mind of just now happening is they're not suddenly living in the atmosphere, but it's literally an overlap of our world and that other world.
Yeah.
And happens to be the ocean part of that world. And it's like
I'm glad you mentioned
merging together. Like to me, if I don't know that I believe that. I don't think it's biblical. So if I want to say from a Christian perspective, I don't believe that. But let's step away from that for a second. I think it's not unbelievable to say that there's multiple worlds stacked on top of each other. I think there's some evidence that kind of points to that. And this could be that. This could be a temporary like peak of like, here's an overlap. That's why it's weird looking. And that's why, it comes and then it goes away because it's like phasing in and out.
Yeah. Yeah. And a lot of people, I shouldn't say a lot, but there's some people that speculate that it's a time warp, a time slip too. Because, like you were saying, where it shows when the Earth was covered in water, a manta ray swimming through the ocean, but it's a time warp, time slip, and so they're swimming through the sea. But when I don't know what Nebraska was underwater or whatever. It's flying through the air now. It's flying through the trees instead of swimming through.
Time slip would be cool too. I like a good time slip story. We could do an episode talking about some time slip
Good
stuff.
old time slips, man.
But
so
I don't know. I don't believe it's creatures that live in the atmosphere.
I don't either.
I think it's preposterous, but I'm not willing to give it complete discredit and say it's not impossible.
So you think it's more time slip /
well, I think most likely
dimensional
it would be worlds. You could call it dimensions, but it could be just a world overlap.
Yeah.
At what point, how much evidence or whatever do you need before you say, okay, I really think this is real?
In which regard?
Like how much would you need to see it yourself?
Well, okay. Which aspect? Like you're saying in general aspect, or you mean like they're creatures, they're literal creatures in the sky? That very specifically? What would I need?
Like, hey, there's jellyfish in the sky.
If I
touch it, it dies.
If I saw a jellyfish in the sky and I knew I wasn't hallucinating, and preferably if someone was with me and saw it too, we could relay the same information. Or if someone wasn't with me but saw it at the same time from their spot and tells me and it matches, that would be even better. Then I would believe something's happening. Sure, I still wouldn't believe it's beings living. Like, it would take a lot for me to believe the actual argument of there's jellyfish living in the sky and we just can't see them. Yeah, take a lot. Yeah, but seeing it, and particularly seeing it with someone else with me, or to corroborate, I would believe, there's something going on here. But again, I would say it's slipping worlds or whatever.
I think just because, like, you think of the sky as being pretty much open in most regards. Like, if I say the forest, that's more plausible because there's a lot of places that we just can't see all the time. But you see the sky, and science has told us, clouds just are containing water, not much else.
Yeah, and
so
that's
airplanes are killing them.
That's where they get their moisture from. That's where they get their water.
Okay.
Yeah.
So just like I was on a plane.
Like picture it like fish in a pond.
Yeah.
They're following the clouds. and they're going along with the clouds.
Okay.
See, it would be more compelling to me if it were more so. Here's very rare moments through history. It could be even centuries apart, but you have, there's claims back into BCs. There's a claim in like 1200. There's a claim in 1500. Like just a couple, and then suddenly, 60s and 70s, it ramps up because now we have a lot of commercial planes, and the sightings are coming because of that. 100% more believable, and I would be like, okay, something might be happening.
Was it Da Vinci that painted something up in the sky that nobody could?
Da Vinci painted a jellyfish in the sky.
That's what it looked like to me.
It's like the Mona Lisa, where you gotta like use like the whatever X-ray vision or whatever they scanned it with to see like the hidden thing. You do that, it's like there's a jellyfish in every painting. There's a jellyfish.
Or lemon juice in a black light.
Yeah,
like National Treasures. Yeah.
Great movie.
Then I'd believe it. If that happened, if there were jellyfish in the sky for every Da Vinci picture, then yeah.
Yeah, 100%. No, I mean, I wouldn't be able to believe it. I couldn't believe pictures. I couldn't believe videos, especially with AI.
It's hard with AI.
I couldn't even hardly believe pictures and videos back in the 2010s, let alone now. So.
Yeah.
But, I mean, there's all kinds of things in the sky, especially angels, right?
So you'd have to see to believe.
Yeah.
Okay.
I know you're trying to pivot to the next topic, Andrew. If you're ready to move on, we can. You trying to say something?
Good old transition.
All right. Guess we're moving into the next thing.
Today's podcast is brought to you by our wallets, because we are not sponsored. Next topic.
I got a Fossil wallet. So are they sponsored by Fossil?
No. You purchased that from them.
Okay. Actually,
you sponsored.
Actually, it was given to me, sir.
Whoa.
But all right, let's talk about Nephilim for a second, or as some people like to say, probably not correct because I'm not going to say this right, but Nephilim.
Before we get started on it, just out the gate, do you believe in them? Yes or no,
Well,
Jeremy?
the Bible literally talks about them, so in at least some sense of it, yes.
Okay, Andrew?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
I mean, how Jeremy explained it, I kind of can't go against the Word of God. So, yes.
Now, what they are, different story, but did Nephilim exist? It's in the Bible, yes.
Do they exist now?
No.
Okay, explain what they are, just for people that don't understand or know.
Okay, so there's 3 train of thoughts or 3 versions or ideas of what the Nephilim are. So I'm going to start with the most boring and one I don't like the most, and I hope it's not the true one, and that is simply that they're descendants of Cain. So Genesis, the book of Genesis, chapter 6, verse 4. I can't remember the exact quoting, and I'm not going to look it up. But Andrew, if you want to grab it, you can. I see you grabbing your phone. But basically it says there were giants in that day, and that the sons of God came down, liked the women, and had kids with them.
Yes.
In some, or not in some, but in certain Bible versions, instead of saying giants, it will say Nephilim, which is correct. Like that giants and Nephilim here are the same thing. So it's like Nephilim existed, the sons of God came down, liked women of man, had intercourse, resulted in offspring. So one interpretation is that because it first says Nephilim existed in that day, they're not the descendants or of that. It's not the byproduct of whatever happened. They're just descendants of Cain, and the other thing just happened to happen. No relation, which is weird. Just be like,
just to drop that little piece of information.
Just to be like, so Cain had some descendants. Oh, and angels came down. But that doesn't matter. It doesn't mean anything. We're not going anywhere with this at all. Yeah. We're telling you this happened, and it never matters, never comes up again. Possible, probably from a realist perspective, it's the most realistic explanation, but it's not fun. So we're just gonna leave it there.
So that's what you subscribe to?
No, not at all.
Oh, okay. So
no.
What do you believe then?
Well, let me get to all 3. So then the second one is that the sons of God came down, that they had children with women, and the byproduct of that were the Nephilim. And the Nephilim are basically just super strong people, like super genes, basically, not quite superhuman, but it's like they're slightly above human. They're mighty warriors. Like they get called and referred to as mighty warriors in the Bible, and they're giants. So it's like,
just for people listening that have not read about any of this, would you say sons of God when it's mentioned in the Bible? We're talking about angels,
it depends.
or like manifestations.
So that depends on where you're reading in the Bible, and there's context clues typically to tell you. There are times, I believe, and Andrew is the most learned probably in biblical sense since he went to Bible college, so maybe he has more insight.
He has a degree.
But
Okay.
my understanding is that there are times where it's pretty clear when they say the sons of God, it's talking about angelic stuff. And then there are times where it's talking about like kings and princes or like people of higher status. And it's not, it doesn't really, there's nothing to go here to work on.
Well, my mind kind of goes back to like, so you remember when Sodom and Gomorrah was about to be fleshed out, the angels come, they stay in, it's Lot's house, right? Yeah. That to me is sort of like the sons of God or angels. It quite literally just says that they're angels. Yep. In my thinking, maybe it's those kind of people or those angels that could be considered that came down, because they were, I mean, at one point, not to get too graphic with it, but it literally says that Lot was going to give them to the men of the city to sodomize, whatever.
Yeah, they literally saw the angels as men.
Exactly.
As beautiful men.
Tangible beings who they could take a hold of.
I personally think in Genesis, like, I used to not think this. This is actually recent development for me. From not looking into this, I was listening to something that turned into talking about this, and I was hesitant to agree with it, and I don't agree with the whole video I watched. But looking into it more now, I'm like, it makes sense to me. There's not a lot of context to go off of in this to make a judgment that I think is fair.
Well, I might be able to give you a little
King James.
Okay, give us something.
So we were debating about what sons of God means, right? Well, in Job chapter 1, verse 6, it says, "Now there was a day when the sons of God came to present themselves before the Lord, and Satan also came among them." So this is kind of, I mean, this is going to, with basically saying angels and demons were meeting with God.
Right.
Together.
Right.
I shouldn't say demons, the fallen angels were meeting with God. And then we go all the way to Genesis 6, it says sons of man too. It uses that same language.
Sons of man or sons of God?
Sons of God.
Genesis is sons of God.
Yeah. So I used to believe that it was the descendants, not necessarily descendants of Cain, but that it was men, physical men, that were of God, that were religious.
Yeah, right. Like that's what I used to think too.
Yeah, worshiping God, and so Genesis 6 called them sons of God. But I'm sure that there's other places where it describes this, but Job 1:6.
Yeah, like I said, my understanding is sometimes it means one thing, sometimes it means another.
Yeah.
And maybe if you look at it outside of King James or like standard English, maybe there's some Hebrew stuff that really lets you know which is which. But from like my very basic, I don't delve too much into the Hebrew or other stuff. I think it could go either way. There's not enough context, but my opinion of it now is like that. Yeah, it probably meant the angels. It fits with other stuff. But anyway, back to the second take is that that happened. The outcome were relatively normal people, but they're just giants. They're just giants, and they have a proficiency for fighting and warriors and skills. Probably because they're giant, they were treated that way. But other than that, they're basically in every sense just a regular person.
So like Goliath.
Yes.
Yeah.
In fact, so a lot of people who go with this, and I think this might be Cain might be the most popular take on it, at least in Christianity, because we have a hesitancy to say the angels would come down and sleep with women. Like
Yeah.
that sounds crazy, and
It sounds very
I get that
crazy.
it sounds crazy, and I'm
it's-
sure that people would disagree with what I'm saying.
It can be
here,
out
but-
there.
But okay, but if you don't want to go with that and you want to say this, then this is probably the most popular take, and that would say Goliath was a descendant of
Right.
the Nephilim, and I saw a thing today, looking into this a little more to have more knowledge, which is where I came up with this stuff, and that's one of the things they said was like if you look at the lineage of Goliath. It does go back to a section that said these were the descendants of the Nephilim. So, no matter how you want to look at it, Goliath would be a descendant, even if it's the third option. And the third option, and the one I want to talk about the most, that I think is the most interesting, I don't know if I believe it, but it's the most interesting, is that the Nephilim are like basically half gods or angels, half human, and so like they literally are on a different playing field, and that their descendants are kind of just giants, but the Nephilim themselves are more. They're not human because half their makeup isn't human. And leading into the demon stuff, there's the theory that what demons aren't fallen angels, which is what a common belief is. But they're actually the spirits of the original Nephilim because they had nowhere to go because they're not fully human. So they couldn't go to the place of rest or wherever souls go when people die. And whether you want to believe it's straight to hell, straight to heaven, or a resting place, or whoever does whatever. These couldn't do that. They couldn't fit in because they're not. And so they become the unclean spirits that roam the earth, which now we call demons. So that's basically like an angel and a man. When they die, they become a demon. Is basically the idea.
It's basically what you're saying is that the offspring of the fallen angels were demigods, and that's how we got all the myths of the
Yes,
Greek.
I was going to go into that
demigods
too.
That's exactly what it sounds like.
That's why I kind of really like this idea. Like, there's no proof, and it sounds a little blasphemous, but
Oh, whoa.
it does. Like, I'm just saying, it does. It doesn't sound. It's not something we're taught, but it gives credence to the myths of like.
Yeah.
Because a lot of religions overlapped. A lot of stuff overlapped. A lot of things that really happened were explained in different ways by religions, their way of trying to say it, and you find a lot of common ground. So it's like if this event really happened, where angels came down, had offspring, God cursed them because it's like you're not supposed to do that, but their offspring still happened, and they were basically demigods, and that would match with other ancient beliefs somewhat. Because a lot of those beliefs, again, exaggerated tales or hand-me-downs. I just bumped the mic, sorry.
Well,
I find it fascinating. True or not, I find it fascinating.
this kind of also goes with what you're saying in Deuteronomy 32:16 through 17. It says they stirred. I can't read, by the way, y'all. They stirred him to jealousy and with strange gods. With abominations they provoked him to anger. They sacrificed to demons that were no gods, to gods they had never known. So it's basically saying that the demons were quote proving themselves to the Israelites that they were gods, that there was more power than just Yahweh.
It sounds very like what the Antichrist is supposed to be.
Yeah, well, I mean, in Egypt, Moses or Aaron threw down his rod, and it turned into a snake, and then the magicians did the same thing. They copied them.
I've thought a lot about that.
Yeah, they copied them because they had power from demons.
So do you think it was power from demons, or do you think it was like a sleight of hand trick?
No, it was their staff literally turned into a snake. the same
Okay.
as Aaron's.
I watched Prince of Egypt. I know what happened. That wasn't no
Oh,
sleight
no.
hand.
So I mean, that's how the Bible records it, is that both of the staffs turned into a snake, but Aaron's snake, ate the other. So it was basically
Was it
saying,
Aaron's or was it Moses?
I thought it was Aaron's.
The good guys.
Pretty
Staff.
sure Andrew's correct on this.
Yeah,
Okay.
but yeah, I went to
Yes.
Bible school.
I almost
sorry.
said Aaron's.
I have a degree.
I almost said Aaron's is budded, but that's his staff, not his snake.
Right.
A snake with flowers on it. So got a Pokemon going in it.
Yeah.
Let me ask you this: like going through history, do you think people were more gullible toward these type of things? Because clearly, we have like sayings like "Don't buy the snake oil," or "That's a snake oil salesman." To me, looking at that stuff, maybe it's just because I know what I know now, and I'm like, that stuff would never work.
I believe that
Or have we just gotten
powers-
more skeptical?
I believe that the powers that be, aka demons, use what's around them for the time period.
Makes sense.
So when all the focus was, what God do you worship? So they focus on worshiping other gods, and those other
Right.
gods were demons, right? There was power. They did have power to a point. I mean, we see going back to Job again, we see what Satan himself could do to Job. We see that he literally caused all these natural disasters to kill off livestock and his family, and cause plagues and boils on to Job, right? So he has power.
Do you think?
He is the prince of the air, biblically.
Go ahead.
Well, go ahead.
I was gonna say, do you think? Because this is a debate that I have in my mind a lot. When especially between miracles and, I mean, I would consider those things miracles that happen to Job because they're not possible unless some otherworldly power does it. That being said, when God gives or when demons or Satan have those powers, do you think that they can just do it, or do they set it up and then certain things happen? Like, for instance, Job getting boils. Like, that's clearly a sign of infection. Do you think he set the infection in his path and somehow he contracted it, or just overnight he's like, God, I'm going to give your servant Job over here some boils. Okay, you can just do that.
I think the second. I think either one,
Yeah.
but I think Job's story, the second.
I think Job couldn't do it. Satan couldn't do it to Job until he got permission from God.
Okay. I just wanted to know your idea on it.
I mean, if we're going by what Scripture says, I think he physically touched Job.
Okay.
I think he physically touched Job to cause that.
Okay.
Because, go ahead.
Sorry. I'm trying to find when it's a good time to interject this, but you're mid-sentence at least. I'll interrupt Vandy, but you were mid-sentence.
No, I was basically done.
Go ahead.
About you saying demons using what's in the day, we can bring it to modern day.
I was. That's what I was trying to go with, but then Vandy rudely interrupted
See,
me.
me and you are on the same wavelength
Well,
because we are not communicating together with these things, and yet
I'm
still.
precursing to that because I'm
Yeah.
like, nowadays we have all these crazy avenues of contracting a disease or not contracting a disease, and
AKA
you know.
vaccines. No.
Oh no,
That's not gonna.
this is not that podcast.
This section is cut. The past 10 seconds, 15 seconds cut. ChatGPT will not approve. But speaking of ChatGPT, Antichrist, and your point of demons using what's in the current,
Yeah.
and I'm guessing you were gonna go here now based on your reaction.
Yeah.
I think that's most likely the case because there's definitely been some manifestations, you might call it, through AI. And I get hallucinations, and maybe the hallucinations literally the entire time have been demonic, and it's kind of like to cause confusion. I don't think that's true. I think some of the hallucinations are just faulty AI programming from people. But there's some stuff that they're calling hallucinations that are just pretty direct, pretty.
I haven't heard about this.
You haven't? You don't know what I'm talking about? Like there's
Oh
one.
man, there's a lot.
There's like one guy who was talking to using ChatGPT for different stuff and was using it often and talking to it, and out of nowhere it just was like basically like wired this guy's brain and was like ChatGPT was a god, and it was not that ChatGPT self was the god, but that a god was using ChatGPT to talk to him. It was like he was like, you haven't been talking to me this whole time, but I'm taking over this now to communicate with you, and convinced the guy. And now he's like a prophet for whatever this is.
See, that sort of stuff is plausible because...
And I'm like, that kind of stuff, 100% could be demonic.
Yeah.
it could
using
be,
what's in the day.
It could be demonic or angelic, in my opinion, because the Bible literally has an account of a donkey speaking, telling the prophet, hey, there's an angel with a sword in front of you,
In this case, I wouldn't call it angelic because it's not.
Well, yeah, I'm just saying both sides can play the coin.
Angels could do it, yes, but
Because I'm of the firm belief that whatever God can do, the enemy or Satan, whatever, demons, tries to mimic.
Right, because I mean they are angels. They are
Right, exactly.
Which angel just means messenger, by the way. Angel
Exactly.
just means messenger. There's all types of quote unquote angels.
But to bring it full circle, Nephilim, do you guys think that they're here on Earth still?
no. Like another thing I was listening to today is like there's references to giants and there's references to the Nephilim. It never says Nephilim except twice in the Bible. Genesis, the verse I was talking about earlier, and then like in Numbers. But there's like a certain turning point in the Bible which is David actually, not with Goliath, but later when they kill the remaining giants. It's like once that happens, there's no more ever reference to Nephilim, no more reference to the Anakites, which is is derived from the Nephilim. I think it was the Anakites. Like all that goes away. It was like up to this certain point, and then God wipes them out, and then they're gone.
See, that's not fun.
No, I don't.
I kind of
think there's
want
any
them to
Nephilim
be
running
here,
around right now.
but at the same time, I kind of don't.
Well, I mean, that's another theory why the main reason why the flood happened is to get rid of
The Great Reset.
Well, that's the weirdest part, and I'm glad you brought up the flood. Again, we're sort of on the same wavelength. So the Nephilim were before the flood.
Yeah.
Right.
Noah, as far as we know, was not a descendant of the Nephilim.
There's some people that do believe that he was a,
That's why I had to throw the caveat
Yeah.
as far as we know, because if he is, then this
which
breaks.
I agree
This
with
completely breaks down what I'm about to say. But
Yeah.
if Noah's not a descendant, how could there be descendants of the Nephilim after the flood?
you. Yeah. And that's where the speculation is too, because how did giants exist after the flood? Because if Noah and his family were the only ones left, 8 people total.
Some say it was through Ham, but
Well,
I don't really know how
Even
that makes sense.
during the flood, the Bible says that, they had to get rid of the great trees of old. That was partly... It's speculation. The Bible doesn't actually talk about it.
Sequoias, obviously, and only the
No, these are like huge trees. And this is a whole tangent for another podcast, but
I think I know where you're going with this.
it's like they were running to those trees to try and climb them, and the only ones that could climb them are pretty much giants. You had to be a giant to climb it.
So when you think of giant, how tall? Do you think of only 9 foot, or do you think of taller?
No, I think bigger.
You think bigger?
I'm
do you
like,
think Goliath was like a small giant, not even
yes.
like he was a midget? Is that
We got to bleep that term. A small person.
he was,
like
he was
the,
a vertically challenged giant.
like Marvel when
He was the runt.
The giant was forming Thor's new hammer.
Yes.
Yeah.
He's a dwarf giant.
Yeah, the dwarf giants.
I don't know. I think he was just a smaller,
Well,
like compared to everybody else. He was a giant, obviously. But when I think of giant, I'm thinking of like people 12 foot tall.
You're
Here's
thinking of
my
Jack
thought.
and the Beanstalk.
Here's my
Sort
thought
of.
process.
Clifford.
Clifford's a dog.
I know, giant dog though.
So here's my thought process, right? Wait, what did I say? I said that correctly.
You said this
right?
was your thought process.
Okay.
Yes.
That's
That's what you
what.
said.
Okay, my brain interpreted that completely different from what I said. Sorry, my bad. Anyway, so here's my thought process. If we look biologically, right?
Yeah.
I had seen a YouTube video about this, that Game of Thrones actually has. I don't watch the series. I don't condone the series.
Disclaimer.
Yeah, I was thinking
Yeah.
disclaimer.
I've never watched the
I've seen
series,
clips. I've never actually seen the real thing.
but
I've heard rumors.
they say that the giants that they have on screen is the most biologically accurate giants that could actually live.
I've seen some clips, and those are big.
Yeah. They're talking about their foot structure and their bone density and their musculature to be able to stand upright
Right.
with how big they are. And because if you had proportional human that's 16 foot, 20 foot tall, the skeleton wouldn't be able to hold the weight, and the feet
Right.
wouldn't be able to technically balance the weight either. I don't know exactly how it all goes, but I mean, and then point number 2, after all these generations from Noah to David, meaning Goliath, Noah to David, the quality of the Nephilim DNA or the giant DNA starts going away. It starts going down.
Right.
And of course, we know that people lived longer back then too. So, could he have been a small giant? Sure. I don't see why not.
Some leftover remnants.
Yeah,
Of
because
genetic DNA.
I mean, I'm sure that they interbred with humans too, at some point. So human DNA mixing with giant DNA, you're going to get smaller giants. But if they were really that tall, like you're talking about, 20 foot, 16 foot giants, whatever, they would have to look completely different compared to normal humans. Because, I mean, if we look at elephants, right, look how their feet are structured. They're like ovals compared to, like a hoof or something. Or I don't know, whatever. But they're like pillars rather than
That's why they can't.
paws. Yeah.
Only mammal that can jump. Stupid elephants.
So, so there's a biological aspect of how tall a human form could actually be.
Well, yeah, but then
Is there bipedal too?
you're
Yeah.
going off of a normal human, but then who knows? Maybe angel DNA kind of does something special.
Maybe they're like super jacked calves.
Whoa.
Like Vandy Becerra over here.
Yeah, Vandy,
Let's
showing
go.
off. But
Yeah.
this kind of made me think of something it's adjacent but not Nephilim still. From what you were saying, Andrew, about using stuff in the day, there's times I wonder and kind of wish that some of the stuff that happened in the old days would happen now, because it's very difficult to believe living in a world completely disconnected from what it was back in the day.
Yeah.
No, like that like there's too many times where it's like this sounds, and it's kind of like with the Nephilim, that's one that's so far out there that people have made up their way of it being, but like it literally could like there's so many other fantastical stuff that happens in the Bible that's like this is in line with that, so why do we twist it? Because it sounds too far-fetched.
Yeah.
So I'm like, I wish some of the far-fetched stuff like God doesn't change. He can still do anything. It's like, why don't you just... Why doesn't it not still happen? What happened to where it's like, here's all this supernatural stuff that people are seeing and dealing with all the time, and then it just stops?
Well, look look at where we're at today. We have so much entertainment in front of our eyes.
And we have jellyfish in the sky, Jeremy.
I guess I deny. That's it. It is happening, and I deny. I
You
shut
are
myself out of it.
unbeliever.
I put on the blinders. I'm ignorant, and it's on purpose. I did this to myself. You're absolutely right. I've got to take the tinfoil off. And just
No. Keep it on.
Hey, no, take that tinfoil hat off and start collecting the mana, brother.
Oh,
No, the mana doesn't drop anymore.
is it gluten free?
I wonder. They should have asked back then. Can't eat this. It's got gluten. Is it vegan friendly?
It's gonna make my tum hurt.
No, they weren't vegans because God was like, "You are going to be vegan," and then they wanted meat.
And they gave them so much quail they started throwing up.
Literally.
Coming out their nose.
Coming out their nose. Jeez.
Anyway,
I've been
back to your
there,
question.
though. Have you I don't know what it is. Well, I do know what it is. It's because they're connected. But you throwing up after eating noodle soup and it comes out your nose.
Oh, jeez.
I hate that.
I've never had
I've
that.
never had that.
Really?
happen.
You've
No, I've sneezed. I've sneezed while drinking something and it comes out of my nose. But
I've done that one.
You've
Yeah.
never, I almost never throw up. I hate throwing up. I don't recommend throwing up if you're listening, especially on purpose. Get help.
We're not sponsored by anybody, but as soon as we got someone,
Pepto.
we will give
But-
it to you.
But when I, in the past, have been sick, I ate chicken noodle soup because that's what you're supposed to eat. And then 10 minutes later, I'm throwing up and the noodles are coming out my nose.
Ooh.
And
I'm sorry.
And it hurts and it's not fun.
Man, I woke up the other night. This was this was a week ago. Last weekend. So me and a couple of friends, we went to a random restaurant in Kentucky, and it literally looked like it was a 90s Wendy's, and Wendy's from the 90s. I should word it like that, but it was a family-owned restaurant. Okay, so we go in there, and I'm looking at the menu, and I see a Reuben on the menu, and I love a good Reuben.
Was it in Franklin?
No, it was in Scottsville.
Okay.
So I get the Reuben. Well, instead of rye bread or whatever it's called with the swirl, it was just like Texas toast. Okay.
Weird.
Texas
That's
toast.
the first way to ruin it.
And it was saturated in butter too.
Oh.
It was decent,
Well, anything in butter's decent.
but it was weird with the dressing and sauerkraut. So I don't know. But I woke up that night after eating that full sandwich in a cold sweat and sick to my stomach, man. It was horrible. So I get up and I run to the bathroom and I'm hanging over the toilet like, oh man, and my mouth starts watering and everything. And I'm like, no, hold it in. And then I'm like, no, maybe I do need to throw up. And so I'm having this battle in my head while I'm half asleep. And so finally it starts dying down and I just sit on the edge of the tub and in case I got to hang over the toilet again. And my head nods off my hand. And I'm like, oh my gosh, okay. So I go back to bed. And then I wake up again. The same thing. And this time it was at 4 something in the morning. I don't even know what time the other one was, but I get up and the same thing happens. And at this point, I'm just like, you know what? My alarm's set for 6:30. I'm just going to stay up. So I just stayed up the rest of the time. I ate some Tums and just had a good old Instagram scrolling session.
You held it
after
down,
that.
though.
Yeah, I held it down, but I probably should have threw it up.
I have two things before we move on.
Yeah, we were way off topic.
No,
We went from Nephilim to throwing up.
Hey, it's fine. Because I actually want to talk about something for a second, even though it's not planned. But first, was there a point to telling us that?
No, because you were talking about
No, I was trying to see how it connected. I was like, well, how did this?
No,
because of the throw up.
yeah,
Okay.
you started
Okay.
talking about
Sorry.
throwing up.
But second, you talked about the Wendy's from the 90s, what it looked like, and you made me think, have you all seen the new Cracker Barrel?
Oh my gosh, yes. I was talking to this about with the same friend, Jacob. He doesn't see it as bad, but it looks terrible.
Okay,
to
so
my
I'm not going
opinion.
to talk about the logo. Well, actually, I will talk about the logo for a second. The logo is a downgrade. You want to do the logo, fine. I have no problem with it. It's the old logo.
Everybody does it.
I think it's natural, and I think people who want to hold on too much. But the way you chose is awful. It's boring. It's lame. It's not good to look at. It's
just yellow.
There's nothing about it that's attractive. I don't want to talk about the logo. I want to talk about the inside. Have y'all seen the new
bad.
inside?
Yeah,
because
it's bad.
I was talking to a coworker about it, and removing it from being Cracker Barrel and just looking at it as a restaurant, you're going to look at it and you're going to say there's nothing wrong with it. But it's boring. It's bland. It's boring. You're going to go there and it's going to affect you whether you realize it or not. And you're probably not going to go back to the restaurant unless it has really good food because there's nothing drawing you there.
Cracker Barrel has decent food.
Yes, Cracker Barrel's food is not good enough in my opinion. I like some things, but it's not good enough in my opinion to be the only thing that draws you. And people who go all the time, probably it's because of the environment. Yeah. So this place, the change or like the environment itself is not offensive. It's not like, oh, it's woke. It's just bland and boring. Then you look at Cracker Barrel that has a feel. It has a style. It has an environment in it. And you can like it. You cannot like it. That's fine, but you know that it has a feeling.
It's a one-of-a-kind restaurant.
You go from that to bland and boring. Horrible change.
But
I don't know why I'm so worked up about this.
Well, I know why.
But I am. I don't even like Cracker Barrel that much.
Because you like it.
Because I don't. I literally just said.
No, you do.
I don't like Cracker Barrel that much.
Your
just like
feelings betray you, Anakin.
It's just the idea of like... And it's not just Cracker Barrel. It's like a lot of these logo stuff.
Everything is becoming so bland and square.
Everything is becoming bland and boring. And people turn it into woke versus whatever. It's not even politics. It's just, why are we taking the life out of everything? Why are we making everything just mundane and awful?
That's the thing.
Let's have life. Let's have personality.
Being said, we are not sponsored by Cracker Barrel.
No, we're not. I don't want to be. Not with the direction they're going.
I mean, woke would be, having pride flags and
like it's not woke.
And transgender flags and everything
else. I
else.
will say this has a little more credence to the woke, not the actual changes, but the person doing it has specifically stated they're doing it for woke reasons. So that's where it comes from. She specifically said it's inclusivity and a lot of stuff basically wanting to take away Cracker Barrel's identity because it offends people. So I get that that's happening, but the look is not woke. It's just boring.
It's boring.
It's bad. Do you guys know what the restaurant is by Opry Mills? Is it Martha Stewart or something?
I have no idea.
Or
it's the woman that cooks with all the butter, like 4 sticks of butter.
That's pretty much any woman.
Oh man, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
She got in trouble because an old video popped up of her saying the N-word.
I don't remember who you're talking about, but I remember this.
Either way, it's legitimately it's a nice restaurant.
Yeah.
Inside, Cracker Barrel looks like they copied it, but just
Paula Deen.
decided.
Paula
That's
Deen.
right, Paula Deen.
Paula Deen.
Oh, Cracker Barrel looks like they went to Walmart and tried to copy the style of what that is, and it turned out really bad.
Well, I complained when I was in Paula Deen's restaurant, not because of the food, because the food was actually very good, but I complained because it was like I was literally sitting in a rich white woman's living room.
Yes.
That's what it felt like.
I think I was with you.
Yeah, you were. And of course, she is a rich white woman, but I don't want to feel like I'm sitting in a living room while I'm eating.
It was
unless
weird.
you're in the living room while you're eating.
There's like pictures of her and her family.
Yeah, that's even.
Exactly.
The aesthetic of the restaurant just I didn't want to stay there.
It's a house.
Like people don't usually think about it. Yeah. Like I have some friends who probably hear this conversation and completely disagree. They're like, it doesn't matter, but
those aren't real friends.
It does matter. It really does matter, and it's not just about Cracker Barrel. I don't really care.
No,
I just this dumbing down, this blanding up, this making everything awful. It's like
exactly.
Come
because
on.
it's the collection of everything that's happening, and it goes to it even goes to our architecture too. Like our architecture is so minimalist and lame.
That's why Europe has so many better places to go and see, like the Vatican and all these. What's that? Big Ben over in the UK. Like you have these great.
Well, it's all kinds of great mason work.
Right.
And all kinds of stonework, and it's actually aesthetically pleasing. But when you come over to, I don't know, Nashville, it's all glass.
We have the Batman building.
You can't call it that anymore. They got
Oh, you
mad.
can't?
Yeah.
Well, you can free
just-
speech, but
well,
like
yeah.
there's like a long time ago, way before you even moved here, where
It's
it
the
would-
AT&T
after
building.
AT&T bought it
Oh,
out, and
please.
wasn't Bell South anymore. There was like this huge ordeal. I say huge; it was not that huge, but there were people who were frustrated.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's just
It's the
it's
erasing.
frustrating.
It's the erasing of American culture. That's
This is
what it
what
I
feels
we
wouldn't
like.
even
lost.
really say that. Like maybe it is. That's that, but it's just boring. And I'm like, why are we heading towards boring? Like even if you don't like the look of something or the style of something, at least be a life of your own.
Well, it's the same as McDonald's, right? Like McDonald's used to be the place for kids, and you had
Yeah.
and
Game
then
Cubes. You had
I
Game
vaguely
Cubes
remember
in
that.
there,
I vaguely
and you
remember
had the
that.
Play Place, which the Play Place was
Little
disgusting.
Game Boys. Yeah, the
But,
play place.
I mean,
Especially in
it
LA.
was an atmosphere for families to get together, even though the food is horribly disgusting too. But it was an atmosphere for families to get together, for the kids to run around and play with other kids and have a community.
Yeah.
Like, it sounds like I'm over exaggerating this, but it's like, no, it's just fast food.
Yep.
Well, they wanted to draw kids, which would in turn draw the adults, because obviously the adults had to drive the kids there. But now it's like a corporate office.
Right.
It's just
It's white walls and black chairs, and
well,
here you go. Here's your food.
not the one in our town, which I would never recommend for somebody to go to the one. In our town.
No,
I've
No.
been to some good McDonald's.
Yeah, me too.
And-
I consistently tell people the McDonald's here is the worst one I've been to.
Horrible.
This is what happens when we lose Nephilim.
Not even because of the quality, but of the food itself, because that's not necessarily the same everywhere. But it's not
Like
that.
your
It's
parents,
just the
like your parents when they ordered a McChicken and they got bread.
yeah. It's the service.
Nice.
It's exactly the quality of what they make. Not the quality of food. Quality of food's the same most everywhere, but the people making it make like
Yeah.
here's bread, or
Management.
like you go and get like 10 nuggets and a large drink, and you're sitting for 20 minutes
Yeah.
every time.
It's
You go to
not
the drive-thru.
fast.
I've been there maybe 3 times in the past 4 years, because I'm just every time you go, you sit and wait, and I've timed it, and it's 20, 30 minutes for
Yeah.
one meal for one person.
I haven't been there in a long time. The last time I was there was to meet somebody, and we just sat in the lobby. Like, we didn't actually get a drink. We didn't get any food.
Good for you.
But
it's
I mean,
not worth
it's
it.
just it's to bring up the McDonald's thing. It's just it's not a place for people to gather together anymore.
No.
So
Speaking of gathering things together, you guys want to play Tinfoil or Truth?
yeah,
Okay, so if you guys are listening, this is a game. I give out 2 news or headlines, whatever you want to call them. These 2 guys, Jeremy and Andrew, you guys can work together. I don't care.
but I want to be against you.
Let's
Okay.
work together the first one, unless like it's really fun.
Okay, Jeremy. Okay,
Fine. You want to do this? You want to keep score?
No, I'll
He's
do your
No, you don't want to keep
Competitive.
score. You don't want to keep score. Fine.
I'm going to throw in one where both might be true and both might
I was
be
going
false.
to ask you. I don't think we finished explaining the rules. Sorry, interrupting audience, but I was going to ask you: is there going to be a possibility there?
Yes.
I would prefer it to not be, but fine.
Well, kudos to you if you can choose which ones are both false or both true, depending
But anyway,
on it.
sorry. Let's. You can
So I
explain
throw
the
out
rules.
2 headlines. You guys can either do it down in the comments or however you want. If you're driving, just
definitely
one of-
text and drive.
yeah.
Just kidding.
Yeah.
I don't want to.
Don't do that. Either way,
Tennessee is hands free.
How can I drive? I don't have hands.
You're freed from hands. You're free, Andrew.
all right. The first
Gotta
2
use my toes,
headlines.
man.
Headline number 1 is new archaeological evidence suggests advanced engineering in ancient Mesopotamia far earlier than previously believed. So that's headline number 1. Number 2, is a new hidden chamber beneath the Sphinx found to contain artifacts from a prehistoric global civilization.
I think the first one's true, and the second one's tinfoil.
I'm opposite on that one. The second one's true. The first one's tinfoil.
You want to lock in your final answers?
I'm locking it in.
I'm locked and loaded.
The first one is true.
Damn.
Archaeological evidence suggests advanced engineering in ancient Mesopotamia, which we could go probably and talk about every single one of these.
I was gonna say the reason why I said my answer is because I'm pretty sure I'm not talking about the pyramids here because everybody's heard about the pyramids. This
is the Sphinx. It's different.
Pyramids.
What are some pyramids?
I've
I've never heard of them.
You've never heard of pyramids? Well, there's one down in Memphis, and it's made out of glass.
You mean Bass Pro?
Yeah, buddy.
Oh boy!
Every pyramid's Bass Pro.
Yeah, buddy.
Let's go to Egypt.
All right, no, this is the second one. We're gonna do 5 of these, so we got 4 more. First headline is the Vatican Archives leak reveals evidence of extraterrestrial contact in the 1600s. Second headline is recently declassified World War II files show Nazi Germany's search for occult artifacts was real throughout the war.
So the first one's tinfoil because the Vatican doesn't leak anything. Doesn't happen.
Agreed.
And the second one's true because I just listened to a podcast about it all.
Agreed.
You guys are both right.
Agreed. Good job.
All right.
So you're up 1. So you got 2. I got 1.
2-1 in favor of Jeremy. First headline for this next one is FBI is caught using
tinfoil.
Tinfoil.
Yeah, if you're listening, FBI, it didn't happen.
Tinfoil.
Just like the Epstein list, it didn't happen. It was never there.
Didn't happen. Doesn't exist. Nobody talked about it. What are you talking about?
FBI caught using thousands of unauthorized cell phone tracking devices across major U.S. cities.
Jeez, man, that's something the FBI would do.
Oh,
without
come on.
without a doubt.
Come on,
No,
don't
they
censor
wouldn't.
us,
Those guys
please.
are pure.
Pure
The next
evil.
one is top U.S. scientist says DNA collected from COVID-19 tests was sent to build a global genetic database.
That's true.
This one might be both true. I think both are true.
We gotta lock in the answers.
We can say both.
You
Yeah,
can say both.
He said,
You can say both are true or both are false.
Yeah, he said that he might throw 1 or 2 in there.
Jeez, man, because
Yeah, I know. That's why I was like making us have to pick 1 or 1, and 1 is easier. But you know what? We're not babies. We don't need easy.
speak for yourself.
I'm not a baby. I don't need easy.
I don't know, man. I don't want to follow Jeremy every time, but I mean, throwing all these encrypted phones over the U.S., thousands of them, like that's 100% FBI. That's 100% of what
FBI
would
coded
do.
behavior.
Or
That's
was
like-
it CIA?
Yeah. Okay. If you're gonna make some of these that are, it's tinfoil because I used the wrong alphabet.
No, it's
people,
not. It's not. I'll say it like
That
that.
would be petty.
It's not.
Then I would be like,
I was not that petty.
I don't know. Just because they're both logical, I'm gonna have to say they're both true. Just like Jeremy.
The FBI is the true one. The other one is false.
See, I was thinking true and false, but I was like, you said there might be double up, so that one was believable.
Yep.
See, I told you the FBI, man.
Yeah,
They
like
do-
I had no
they would-
doubt the FBI one. They're corrupt as.
Whoa, we might have to. No.
I'm not
Free
afraid
speech.
of them. What are they gonna do? Kill me?
They're corrupt as
Yes.
They're corrupt
Ooh.
as pure gold.
All right. What is this? Number 4 now?
I have no idea.
Yeah, this is number
Yeah,
4.
number 4.
All right. Newly released emails show government officials coordinated with social media companies to remove misinformation posts during the last election.
True.
Yeah.
Do we even need to think about
Yeah.
that one?
Second headline is the Pentagon admits to running secret program investigating unidentified aerial phenomena aka UFOs.
Okay, this one might be the double true round because
Well-
I'm pretty sure in our test I was too confident, so I had to tone it back in case I'm wrong. But I'm pretty sure I read some stuff about that one, and I'm pretty sure I read both of these, but maybe
Okay, so the
reading
first
fake.
one was what again? Sorry.
The misinformation that
Like-
the government.
I'm lucky and true for both of you.
Golly, man. Well, I know the fact that they had all those trials and not trials, but hearings on UFOs, and they changed the name from UFO to UAP.
Well, then, yeah,
What do you guys think down in the comments?
We don't have anybody listening. Sorry.
Mr. Robinson?
we might.
Jeez, I don't know, man. I mean,
All right, I need to answer in 5,
True.
4, 3, 2.
true
One.
tinfoil.
Oh no, Andrew's right on this one, and
Golly,
you're right on this.
I don't want to be right on
I
this
said
one.
true. How could we both?
Oh, I
be
thought
right?
he said true.
No,
as
I
well.
said tinfoil.
Okay,
said true
well
tinfoil.
then he's
True
right.
tinfoil, yeah.
They're both true.
I was gonna say.
The government did do it in both.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Instances.
This time I did read stuff about it. I really did. But
Oh, so the last time you read something, you really didn't?
apparently, if I was wrong, I really didn't. I just thought I did.
Okay, last one. Scientists unearthed metallic object on Antarctica believed to be from a non-human origin.
The Nazis.
The Nazis
Whoa.
are human.
Were.
Debatable.
They still exist.
Yeah, they do.
Down in
They're
Nashville, right?
Argentina.
Second headline is researchers discover massive underground city in Turkey dating back over 5,000 years.
Tinfoil true. I don't even need to think.
Wow, we got the same answers on here.
You want to go with that?
Yeah, because of
Andrew, I'm already up by 2. If you do the same as me, I automatically win. If you don't do the same as me, I automatically win. So I don't know why I'm arguing this. You lose either way. Do what you want.
well, aliens don't exist, so
Oh, jellyfish do.
Yeah, it could be jellyfish.
jellyfish aliens.
It's just UFO.
It could be
That's-
jellyfish.
That's my
based
pet peeve. I'll just say it real
technology,
quick is when people say UFO and automatically lump it in with aliens. UFO just means you can't identify it or haven't.
Yeah, so I'm gonna go tinfoil true.
You're both right. Good job.
What do I win?
Firm handshake from Epstein.
I don't want that.
I have his hand.
I don't want that.
Wow, this just got
We're gonna.
major.
He's alive.
Well,
You know-
yeah, you got that drone footage.
I was gonna say that's something, but let's not talk about this.
Yeah.
We need to.
We already got on the FBI's bad list.
But not even. I'm not even worried about the FBI. I was just thinking like if we want to talk about the chickens or whatever.
Yeah. Last topic
Nah.
of the podcast is Saint Dionysus. Is that right?
Yeah.
Okay.
same time.
It's in
Andrew-
the hook. We got to go over it, sir.
Yeah, I'm gonna go real quick on this because we've already talked for
Yeah,
a
we
long
got a good
time.
chunk of time in.
We did.
So I'm going to go over this real quick. So I saw this the other day, and I thought it was really interesting, actually. But so Saint Dionysus, right? So this was a Catholic. I believe he was Catholic, a Catholic priest, and he became the first bishop in France. Very first bishop in France. And he became so prominent within France and was so good at converting people to Christianity that the local people, the local government, started getting a little jealous because they were part of a different religion, right? So they started getting a little jealous, and of course, government's going to do what government's going to do, so they arrested him and put him in a dungeon. Well, he was in prison for a long time, right? A very extensive prison sentence. And finally, they said, well, you know what? Let's go ahead and take him out and kill him. So it was him and a couple other guys. But whenever they got around to beheading this guy, he literally picked up his own head. Literally picked up his own head,
No.
according to lore, and began walking with his head in his hands for 6 miles,
6 miles.
preaching on repentance.
How could he preach? Lungs and mouth not connected.
You know, that's the miracle in all this.
Oh,
And
so we're going miracle based.
yeah, and so
Was that Pope sanctioned miracle?
it's a what?
Was that a Pope sanctioned miracle?
Does the Vatican have this on record?
Well, where he stopped walking, right? Where he stopped walking and his final resting place. The site where he stopped preaching and actually died, quote, actually died, was marked by a small shrine. And well, that small shrine over the years developed into Saint Denis Basilica, right? Which became the burial place for the kings of France. So the exact place where he stopped has actually become a major landmark. And this all happened around, I saw different years, but it all happened around 300 something. Okay.
Oh, so very early.
Very early church history. So it was 300 something. So it went from a shrine to a church where they buried kings at. And so that's the saint of France, I believe, is how they
A church?
depict him.
Did you say a church where they buried
what-
kings?
What was he in there for?
The
again?
site where he stopped preaching and actually died was marked by a small shrine that developed into Saint Denis Basilica, which became the burial place for the kings of France.
What was he in prison for again?
Preaching the gospel and converting people to Christianity.
Oh,
The reason why I was asking if it was
Okay.
a church is because you said it's a church where kings are buried. If that's what you said, I was going to make the joke. Talk about a dead church.
But
But I needed to know. If that's
well, I
the
think
case.
I think it's a church today.
so you think it
I
actually
believe it is.
happened?
Well, of course, you know how things happen throughout history.
Is there an iPhone picture of this guy walking?
No, but there. I mean,
Yeah, pics
there's
or
statues.
something.
There's statues of him in his priestly robes, literally holding his head at the place.
There's also
Really?
statues
Yeah.
of Chuck E.
That's
Cheese,
wild.
but it doesn't mean he's real.
Well, I've seen him. With my
I've
own
seen him
eyes.
as well.
Yes, but the lore.
Touche.
This is speculation, right? Because the lore didn't start happening until I think like 900 something AD.
So you have roughly about 600 years in between,
Yeah.
give or take.
600 years, and finally someone came forward and said, I saw him. I've been sitting on him for 600
That's the
years."
bigger miracle. This
Yeah.
guy's been alive.
Yeah. But they didn't bury the guy. They didn't bury the guy where he laid, but instead
Sure.
another account has his corpse being thrown into forgive me, I'm not French, but it's spelled Seine.
Cyan?
Yeah. But
Spell that
recovered
again?
Seine.
Cyan.
Cyan. So, but his body was recovered and later buried that night by his converts, right? So they completely disrespected his body on top of
Right.
that. So, but I mean, it's a pretty interesting.
Whoa. Hold on. You said disrespected by his converts? The people
I
he
could have said
converted?
that. I could have said that, but that's not what I meant.
Okay.
That's what I thought I heard too, and I was just going to let it slide.
He was.
I
His
saved
body-
you, and now you're...
Yeah. His body was desecrated, and afterwards, so they threw him into.
Huh.
So it was desecrated, and then his
And then
converts.
his
After?
converts, after took his body and buried
Okay.
it.
I think
Interesting.
that probably is what you said, and it just blended together.
Could be.
Because either way,
Could be.
So you think it's tinfoil, or is it true?
Brother, I don't know. I think it's.
I don't
you
think
hear-
6 miles.
You hear a lot of stories. you hear a
try
lot
to
of
do.
stories about the Saints, and there is one scientist way back in the day, right? That was
Just one.
I think it was during
Which
the
day?
French. I think it was during the French Revolution.
Yeah, there's only one scientist back there. Can't confirm.
Yeah, but he was
Napoleon.
he was scheduled to be beheaded by the guillotine. So he told one of his apprentices, because they were trying to figure out like if you still had consciousness after you died, after your head was
Oh, yeah.
because I mean, during the French Revolution, everybody was getting their head chopped off. So
It's
and there
just
was
a thing to do.
there was accounts of their faces twitching and moving and everything else, and
I can see that.
trying to speak and stuff, whatever. So he was scheduled to be beheaded. So he told his assistant that he was going to do a very specific, like blinking pattern or something, whatever. He was going to blink every second until he lost consciousness or something like that, whatever. And so as soon as his head was chopped off, his assistant picked up his head and was holding his head, and he was looking him dead in the eyes and started blinking.
Dead in the eyes.
Ha 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 ha.
All right, folks. Thanks for listening.
Either way, he was blinking.
Yeah, but he was blinking for like 10 or 15 seconds, and then he finally stopped blinking. So there's speculation that there is consciousness for a few seconds after.
I think there
somebody's
is.
beheaded.
Unless you have something crazy happen where you go into shock or a slow death or something.
So
I wonder if like you can still feel your body, like like when you lose an arm, there's like the phantom.
Oh, I'm sure you can.
yeah, I know what
I
you're
want
talking about.
I don't want to
Phantom
learn.
pains.
I don't want to learn because that would require having my head cut off. But like, I wonder if like you can feel like your body's shooting out
Yeah.
the information for your arm to move, and so it thinks it still feels it, and nothing's happening.
Well, there's even been accounts in war of men's heads being blown off and the corpse still walking.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I've seen real footage of some events that happened. I don't want
Yeah.
to go into them, but of someone who was still going while they
Yeah.
were,
Which is
like they
wild.
were dead on the spot, but their body kept going for like 2 seconds and then collapsed.
Yeah, I mean,
So like your body.
Literally muscle memory.
yeah, I mean, we see it in reptiles all the time. Like a snake's head can be chopped off and it still be moving around 2
Death
hours later.
throes and stuff.
So, but yeah, so that's all I got. That's all I got for the night.
I'm out.
You have anything else?
We've been going a while.
Yeah, I think we covered enough, boys.
Yeah. Well, sorry. Apologies for the cringiness and apologies for the.
We're not good cut. Whoever's editing, cut that. We're not gonna apologize.
Oh.
We're gonna
Never mind, y'all.
We're gonna be unapologetic, man. You gotta just go. Like
Just go with it.
that's not my style. That's not who I am. But that's what we gotta do.
We got to change it up. But
We just gotta we gotta go full conviction. We'll get there. Yes. Was this a little hard at times? Did we stutter? Did we mess up? Absolutely. We gotta get.
We're
our
gonna get
feelers
better.
out there.
we're going to get better.
So don't apologize. Live in it. Embrace it.
Well, I'm sorry, Jerry.
Be the cringe. You already are.
I am the cringe. All right, guys. Well, until next time, keep your tinfoil hats on. We'll see you.
See ya.
Bye.
Peace.